welcome back to the Quickie. This is Luke with Miss Stacy Phoenix Milf, as she's called. How are you, Stacy?
I am great this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. I haven't heard great in a long time. That's good.
I got up early and I went for a walk this morning with one of my friends. And so I just got back.
That-
Yeah, we walked for like 45 minutes.
That's pretty good. What's that, about a mile, close to a mile?
We did, it was like actually it was right at 2 miles. Uh,
Gee, and 45, that's pretty good. That's a
yeah.
nice, fast pace, nice, brisk walk.
No,
Yeah,
it's pretty slow. It was a
really?
pretty casual walk, but it was nice and cool out. So, because in Arizona it's like only cool in the mornings, and so yeah, it's very refreshing.
Uh,
And we were at a park, and there's ponds and ducks and things. So
oh, that's cool. Did you
yeah,
did you feed the ducks? Did you feed the ducks?
no, I did not feed the ducks. No,
Ducks get crazy.
I
You
was.
might not want to. Yeah, I don't think you want to feed the ducks. I fed ducks one time. It was like they were trying to attack me, so I've
Oh,
never
really?
fed ducks. Yeah,
Yeah,
never again.
no, no, I was just
Okay,
walking.
so no, that's good. That's healthy. I say I'm going to do that every morning, but it never happens.
Yeah,
One of these days, it will happen.
problem with commitment. Now the truth comes out.
Shh, don't tell anybody. But
I have this weird
I
knack for bringing things out in people. So yeah,
I know that's slipped out. No, I'm actually in a committed relationship. I
yeah,
really am. It was just, but as far as like committing to do certain things,
yeah,
sometimes I kind of get distracted. So
yeah, yeah.
I had to
Self improvement.
had to clarify.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
So what do we
Yep.
get to
All
start
right.
with today?
So, oh, I got a good one. You
Uh-oh.
ready for it?
Okay.
I have like three good questions. Well, the questions are always good, but these are especially good.
Okay.
So I hope you're ready,
All
and
right.
you got to be honest. You promise to
Okay.
be honest. All right. Okay. Question number one from here, Michael Reynolds. What's
Okay.
up, Mike? Mr. Reynolds asked you, maybe for his own personal pleasure, if you enjoy anal sex.
Oh, all right. We're gonna start there. Okay.
That's where we're
Um,
starting. That's where we're going.
so no, I don't. So
Oh,
it gets to be, there you go.
sorry, Mike. Sorry,
Sorry,
Mike.
Mike.
Mike, I tried, man. I tried. I really tried. I tried to ease into it. I just tried to go straight at it. No haps on that.
That's
So
what he
let me.
said. Uh,
So can you tell me why?
well, so, over the years, as I've done like my own kind of self-exploration or with, partners or whatever, it's just not an area of my body that I find super pleasurable. I have grown to appreciate and kind of foster. My body's very responsive, and so I have a lot of pleasure zones that have nothing to do with anal, and so I enjoy those
Okay.
far more than any of the kind of anal play or things that I've tried in the past. It just wasn't my thing. I get that
Yeah.
a lot of people find it really pleasurable, but so it's not something like I've never. I've never had like full anal intercourse, but I just figured like if anything that was leading up to that wasn't very pleasurable to me, I don't imagine that would be. Um,
Hmm.
and so it's just not something that I just have so much fun in lots of other
So
areas
many.
of my body. So
That's understand. So many other avenues that you
yeah,
prefer to explore.
sure.
Then no, I got you. I got you. And this should be fun for everyone. And if you're not enjoying it, there's no need to, you
Right.
know, do
Yeah.
that when there's so many other things that's gonna please you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I'm
All
like
right.
multi-orgasmic in other areas. And so it's like, that's just kind of
You are
fun.
just putting it all out there, aren't you?
So,
They are gonna no, that's they're gonna love this one. See, so Mike Reynolds, even though you can't go in the back door, there are other entrances that will get you the same, if not better results.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep that note. Keep that
Yeah.
note. Now, this question from, and then this is kind of related to
Okay.
the previous question. It's not directly related, but it can be related. I'm trying to find the person who they're gonna. There we go, Mr. T. Gregory Sims.
Okay.
Now, all right. So, question was, do you like anal? Right. So that was a no. But Mr. Sims says, does size matter? And I say that's related because if
Mm.
it's not huge, maybe other things, maybe that'll work in certain areas.
Okay. So yeah, maybe for anal size matters. I don't know. I don't know. Um, maybe that's possible. But so in terms of just like, regular vaginal sex, so I always feel like with men, you have this like kind of stereotypical idea that, men are always like, gauging their penis size with other people. And it seems like
Mhm,
this, some kind of badge of manlyhood or something, manhood, I guess, based on size
mhm.
or whatever. But for me in particular, I actually I do not prefer sex with men with large penises. I feel like most of
Mm.
the time they don't know how to use them well. So there's that. And then men with like, normal or even smaller than normal, I feel like, especially if they're have a good erection, then it's like great. I absolutely love it because then it hits all the right spots for me. So,
Okay, so is the reason that it hits the small ones or the average size, is it because they're able to hit those spots, or is it because they does it have anything to do with the mechanic, the person using the tool? That
so some of it is both. Like
Mhm.
so with a very like a very firm erection for us, someone who's smaller size can hit the spots like naturally, like kind of regardless of what they do. But probably the best of both worlds is like a average size penis with someone
Oh,
who, has that kind of passion and love making ability
right, right.
that not everybody has. So
And from watching like some movies, porn or whatever, you notice that the bigger guys, and that's mostly what you'll see on most of them anyway, and they have like one motion. It's just like all the way in, and you know what I mean. It's just not. There's no finesse to it in most cases.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. And even sometimes like regardless of the size, like sometimes that's the case for how someone penetrates anyways.
mhm.
But yeah, someone who has a little more of a skill set in terms of like kind of their movement or their motion or things like that, or their rhythm. Those are all
Mhm.
things that matter more to me than the size of you know the man part.
There, there, there used to be an old saying. I'm not. Well, I don't know how. Well, I'm not super old, but old enough. But there used to be a saying that there's not the size of the something. It's the motion of the ocean, something like that. Have you heard
I
that?
have heard that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's
I
I
would
guess
say, yeah, that's true. I would say that's true. Yeah.
so. So you're just making a lot of people very happy today because
Oh,
that's
good.
we already got you. You have multiple zones, and you also your average
Yeah.
size friendly.
Yeah.
I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
So cool. We're on a roll so
You're
far, and
hitting
I got
somewhere.
another one. Yeah, no, we're getting it. We're getting. Oh no, I got another question for you. All right, what would you say to guys that may be? I guess the average guys are they probably don't have a problem with it, but the smaller guys, what do you say to them as far as building their? How would you build their confidence?
How would I build up their confidence?
Yeah, build up their confidence.
Um, well, I mean, I think that hearing from a real woman who's had, lots of sex,
Hmm.
that size maybe doesn't matter as much as they've been led to believe that it does.
Right.
It feels like it's pretty ingrained. Um, so it doesn't feel like it's kind of just this topical, like, oh, it's in my head. It almost feels like it's just part of a man. And so I think just continuing for women to continue to say, and certainly there are some women who really really care about that because maybe they are only able to feel a certain kind of pleasure with a certain kind of stimulation. I mean, That's very legitimate. But I would say that most women are, most women are still struggling to kind of figure out what makes them or gives them pleasure. And so, yeah, certainly knowing that they can have confidence with the equipment that they were born with.
Right. And I think I think the female has a lot to do with it also, because if you see a lot of women just say, if it's not this size, I don't want it, blah blah blah. But if a woman can't teach the guy how to please them, then it's not going to happen anyway.
Right.
So yeah, so I think I think it's 50-50. I think the guy has to be able to, do his part, but the woman also has to help him, because we don't have like a navigation map,
Yeah,
right?
well, exactly. And I think that what you're touching on too is the lack of communication, and the lack of, like, to me, I feel like people struggle to have good communication anyway. And then you add in like a really hot topic for people that's
Yeah,
very sensitive and very vulnerable and difficult and taboo in our society, so, and then you compound the communication issues. And so, absolutely. And I think that, what's interesting is I'm a a very proficient communicator,
mhm.
and I'm really knowledgeable about my body, and I've explored a lot of things, and my body's very responsive, and I still have struggle with, really sharing with someone, hey, this is what really does it for me. It's not, a
Yeah,
lot of people don't have that struggle. They can just really openly, I know some people that can say, hey, this is what I like, and take it or leave it kind of thing. But I think
right.
that most of us struggle with it. And so I think
Mm.
it's a skill set to develop, to continue to just say, hey, my needs are valid, what I want is valid, how I feel is valid, and just keep communicating that, and keep being vulnerable, and keep sharing, and keep, reflecting, and just really validating that it's okay to have and feel what you do.
Yeah, I think that's very important. It's almost like a job. If you go into work and you're not being told whether you're doing a good job or a bad job, you can't improve, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well,
so I get,
and the thing is, it starts with yourself. Like, you can't
mhm.
just look at your woman and be like, well, you haven't told me what you like, so I don't know. So, whatever.
Right.
It's like, no,
Mhm.
start with yourself. Like, ooh, hey, I
Mhm.
really love it when, I notice that you're really responsive to this. Like, do you really like this? So it's like, it starts with you,
Oh,
open those doors of communication, take those risks, just keep, doing it. And I think that people struggle to do that. Or
I
they
totally
feel,
agree.
yeah, they feel rejected or whatever. And it's just like, you know what? Do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, they have to be a little bit more confident than to be worried about if they're doing something that the other person doesn't like, because
Yeah.
I just think confidence has a lot to do with that also. But I totally agree with you. All right, so we got another one. This might be the last one
Okay.
from oral whisperer.
All right.
What are the things a man does when they are with you that really provide you with a feeling that a true connection has happened when they leave? So,
Um,
what's something that, how do you know that there's a connection? Once they're gone, how do you know, like, damn, I really was feeling this person?
yeah. Well, so I would say that most of the time, like, so for me, in the line of work that I do as a companion, I really take responsibility for creating that connection. And I do that with my ability to be present, to really attend and listen to, what they're saying, and make eye contact, and just, being present with myself. And so
Mhm.
most of the time, I'm really able to create an opportunity for connection with almost anyone. Um,
Mhm.
but so and I guess the key is, what ends up being different for each client is that I can, create the foundation for that connection. Um,
Mhm.
and then, do they meet me? Like, do they match that? Do they amplify it? Do they kind of retreat from it? And what I find is that most people really feel kind of like a sponge, like they soak it in and meet me, with that same
Okay.
level of passion and connection and eye contact, and and it becomes about that, the touch and the embrace, and not just, anything, and even the conversation, and not just anything that's, sexual that might or might not happen. So, that's when I feel like I've made a connection, is when there's just a genuine smile and a genuine, like, you can feel just a kind of a peacefulness, and and is it in, I joke and kind of call it cum goggles. But I'm like, if I send somebody out into the world, with their cum goggles on, like, then, they see the world, um, they see the world a little differently, right? It's almost like having rose-colored glasses. Like, maybe they feel more
Oh,
positive.
time out. Time out. Time out.
Yes,
Did you, did you just say cum goggles?
I did.
I've never heard that.
That's my saying, because I'm like, so we all know, right, that
That's
orgasm creates oxytocin, and oxytocin is the bonding hormone and bonding chemical. And so, after, after a session or after time together, with someone, and they're like, "Ooh, you're awesome," and I'm like, "You got your cum goggles on, buddy." So of course I'm awesome.
like say give me 15 minutes.
Exactly. No, it's fun. I mean, I have regulars, and people that I build relationships with, and when I say relationships, like, feeling for and caring for other humans is very natural, especially humans that you are doing something that is very bonding. But the nice
Mhm.
thing about companions is that we all just stay in our lane, and so even though you can build a fondness for people, and I care about my clients, I care about their families, and but I stay in my lane, and I have all my own personal life and all of that. So
Right, right, right. And a connection could be doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be like that was a really nice person. I'm
yeah,
comfortable with that person. So that's so, and I'm sure you get some weird people that you don't want a long connection with.
yeah,
Is
I do.
that
I
does that ever
definitely,
happen?
yeah,
Oh,
I definitely have clients that I connect more with, and some I connect less with, and some that, even if I feel connected, that maybe I don't necessarily want to continue to spend time with. And so I make those choices in my business.
mhm.
So yeah,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah,
Well, that was our three and out, and those were
awesome.
really fun. Of course, our 15 minutes feel like 5 minutes
I know it
every single
does.
time.
It always goes
I
by
know.
fast.
Once we get I guess when we see that people want if they want 30 minutes, then let us know and we'll shoot make this thing 30 minutes. Would you be good with 30 minutes if they or is that because it
Yeah.
is it is called it is
Well, and
called a
I
quickie. So,
I want to do just a quick shout out as we're ending. So I have ArizonaMilf.com is my companion site. LifeByStacy.com is my coaching, my civilian business website. And then also just a shout out, I like podcasts to be able to promote and encourage each other, especially for people of color and especially in the industry. AZ Gigolo also hosts a podcast called Stag Stable. You can find
well,
them on Twitter, and so
hey, awesome. That's what we're talking about. Connection. Always,
yeah.
always. I appreciate that. So now that's it from us. I appreciate it from Luke and Stacy. So you're good, Stacy? Got
Yeah.
anything else you wanna you good?
Yep. All good.
Okay, cool. All right. So until next week, and send your questions in to hit us on Twitter, either one of us, or put hashtag Ask Stacy,
Yep.
and have your questions on Ask Stacy show. So until next week, I'll holler at you. Bye, Stacy.
All right. Bye.